I want to go to Blake Burman right now. We do know the president will be meeting with oil industry executives, I believe 7 or 8 of them at the White House later on today. We know as well that Vladimir Putin has confirmed, I guess, Blake, some of the numbers the president was talking about reducing supply in the market by 10 million barrels a day. The one thing I got from Vladimir Putin, and maybe this is just me seizing on it, is that he called on the United States to be part of that. So it sounds like the Saudis, the Russians, and also working with the United States to curtail supply. What do we know about this?
Sounds like a little bit of a tit-for-tat negotiation there when you talk about Russia, Saudi Arabia, the United States. The president, Neil, has said that he has spoken with Vladimir Putin and Mohammed bin Salman in the recent days leading into this meeting at the White House this afternoon. That's going to be the president, the vice president, members of the administration, and several of the biggest players in the oil and energy fields. Just to give you a little bit of an example of who's expected to be in the room, the heads of Exxon, Chevron, Occidental Petroleum, Harold Hamm expected to be there as well, industry representatives too, just to give you a few. Now, there, of course, has been a lot of focus on this Saudi Arabia-Russia standoff and what that has done to oil prices. You talk about the comments made from Vladimir Putin as well, but that's only half of the story, or part of the story, however you want to divvy it up, because there's also been back here in the U.S. this cratering of demand for oil and for gas because of everything that's been going on. I can tell you a conversation, Neil, that I was having earlier today that was brought up to me at the very beginning. Yes, there's Saudi Arabia, Russia, and that whole dynamic, but back here in the U.S., the demand is simply just not there. It's part as well of what Larry Kudlow told Stuart Varney earlier today when he was teeing up this 3 o'clock meeting here at the White House later this afternoon. Watch.
Well, look, in terms of the pandemic and the collapse in demand, there's nothing we can do right away. All right? There may be some issues, smaller items that I'm going to leave on the table for that meeting.
To leave on the table for that meeting. However, I am told that if the issue of potentially putting tariffs on oil imported from Saudi Arabia, if that is talked about, I'm told, Neil, that there would be a lot of pushback in that room. For example, the heads of the American Petroleum Institute and American Fuel and Petroleum Manufacturers wrote President Trump earlier this week, and this is what they said. They told the president, quote, imposing supply constraints such as quotas, tariffs, or bans on foreign crude oil would exacerbate this already difficult situation, jeopardize the short-term and long-term competitiveness of our refining sector worldwide, and could jeopardize the benefits Americans experience as a result of our increasing energy dominance. The feeling that I got, Neil, this morning was that some of these players would kind of just like the market conditions here stateside to sort of play themselves out. You've seen the pop in oil prices in the recent days, and they feel that if there would be some sort of tariffs or quotas, it would be a knee-jerk reaction in the short term compared to the long game here that most, no matter what industry you're in, are seemingly playing. Neil?